This Friday's episode of Friday Fragrance and Fiction is the tale of Chang and Eng Bunker, America's first conjoined twins, bound by blood, divided by fate. Before we begin tonight's story, let's set the mood not with a candle but with a scent. For this layering combo, I chose something that feels like a circus frozen in time, a place where sugar hangs in the air and laughter never fades, even when it should. First, we are going to start with Hemp's body lotion in the scent Vanilla Sugar Cookie. It's sweet and hauntingly indulgent. Layered on top is Heartmore's body oil called Carousel. It opens with caramel, apple, cotton candy, powdered sugar, and funnel cake. Sweet, nostalgic, but there's something faintly ghostly in it, like the scent of a fairground long after the crowd has gone home. Now layer these with Engum by Zakat. You'll notice the first hit of crisp apple, but then it melts into bubblegum, caramel, and jasmine before finally grounding in crystal, amber, and sandalwood. Top all of this with Heartmore's matching Carousel Milky Spray, which is safe for your hair and for all over your body. A highly fragrant perfume oil on the pulse points in the scent Poser, which is a playful bubblegum scent. Together, all of these create an illusion. The sticky sweetness of a traveling fair, the hum of sideshow lights, the scent of candy on the air mixed with the faint trace of sorrow. It's the smell of spectacle, of wonder, and of something much darker hiding just beneath. But stories like these aren't meant to stay trapped in history books. If you drive down the quiet stretch of Main Street in Mount Airy, North Carolina, you'll find a small museum tucked between old brick walls and whispering pines. It is here that the spirit of Chang and Eng still lingers, in worn portrait, family letters, and the strange, beautiful legacy they left behind. This is where our story begins, because tonight we're stepping back into the 1800s, into a world where oddities became entertainment and where two brothers bound by blood turned into a world of fascination into their own survival. Chang and Eng were born on May 11, 1811 in a small fishing village in Siam, now Thailand. Their birth was marked by whispers and awe. Two boys joined chest to chest by a narrow band of flesh, their hearts beating side by side. In their community, some called them divine, others called them cursed, but their mother saw only sons, strong, spirited, alive. They ran, they swam, they learned to move as one. When one stepped forward, the other adjusted. When one laughed, the other felt it deep in his ribs. It was as though the universe had given them single rhythm. At 17, fate, or perhaps exploitation, came calling. Two Western businessmen, Robert Hunter and Captain Abel Coffin, saw the twins swimming and realized what others would pay to see. They promised opportunity, fame, and adventure, but in truth, they were signing the boys into a kind of bondage, a touring contract that would display them across the world as the Siamese twins. From 1829 onward, Chang and Eng became living exhibits. People lined up, gawked, and whispered. Physicians examined them like puzzles, and under the glow of oil lamps and carnival tents, they learned what it meant to be seen but not known. The air around them smelled of sawdust, sweat, and sugar, the same fragrance as tonight's perfume blend, sweet on the surface but with something human and heavy beneath. When their contract ended, Chang and Eng did something remarkable. They took control of their own show, they managed their tours, learned English, and built their own fortune. By the 1830s, they had settled in Mount Airy, North Carolina, becoming naturalized U.S. citizen. The name Bunker now replacing their Siamese heritage, they bought land, became farmers, and quietly rewrote stories others wrote for them. For the first time, the twins weren't just curiosities. They were businessmen, respected locals, men of discipline, and had drive. Then came love, something the world said they could never have. Chang and Eng met Sarah and Adeline Yates, sisters from a nearby town. Against all odds, the four fell in love. They married in a small double ceremony that scandalized the South, and yet they built families anyway. Together, they fathered 21 children. To make it work, the brothers devised a rhythm. 3 days in Chang's home with his wife and children, then 3 days with Eng's family. It was an arrangement born of patient respect and deep, almost unspoken love. But behind closed doors, jealousy and fatigue sometimes crept in. The town whispered, the church frowned, and yet the families endured proof that even those labeled as freaks could love fiercely and live fully. As the years passed, Chang began to struggle. Heavy drinking and illness wore him down, until a stroke left his right side weak. Eng became his caretaker, shouldering more than just his brother's weight. The Civil War stripped them of their wealth. Out of necessity, they returned to the stage. The same carnival circuit that once exploited them, but now the applause felt colder, the audience felt older, the wonder had curdled into pity, and beneath the big top lights, that old carnival scent, sugar and sawdust no longer felt sweet. It was decay in disguise as a delight. January 17, 1874, the bunker home was quiet. Chang lay in his bed beside his brother, his breath uneven and then still. When Eng awoke, he found Chang cold and gone. Doctors rushed to help, desperate to separate them, but within 3 hours, Eng too was gone, his heart stopping as if it refused to beat without the other. Two men, one fate, bound in life, united in death. Their autopsy would reveal their shared liver and connected tissue, a discovery that advanced medicine even as it disrespected their humanity. Chang and Eng Bunker's descendants number in the thousands today, many still living in North Carolina. They were the first known conjoined twins to live full lives, men who turned exploitation into empowerment, spectacle into survival. Their story is one of contradiction, love and loss, faith and fame, freedom and bondage. They remind us that even under the harshest lights, humanity persists, and that sometimes the most extraordinary lives begin as something the world was never ready to understand. Stories like Chang and Eng's remind us that humanity often hides in the places we least expect, behind the curtain, under the spotlight, or in the eyes of those the world once called strange. I chose this story because it speaks to something universal, the longing to be seen for who we truly are and not what others expect us to be. And maybe that's why their legacy still lingers here in Mount Airy, because some stories refuse to be forgotten. If you ever wander through Mount Airy, follow the quiet hum of Main Street and you'll find it, the Siamese Twins Museum, a single room filled with relics of a life that was once larger than legend. Handwritten notes, portraits, and memories that still seem to breathe in the stillness. It's not a spectacle, it's an echo, and when you leave, you'll carry a piece of their story with you, just like a scent you can't quite name. If you felt something in this journey, a spark of curiosity, a trace of empathy, or maybe just a little sense of chill, be sure to like, subscribe, and join me next Friday as we uncover another scent, another story, and another secret from the darker corner of history. We conclude Friday Fragrance and Fiction with this sentiment. Bound by birth, freed by love, remembered not for their difference, but for the echo they left. Two hearts, one story, and still, after all these years, the world can feel them beating.